All right, so let's continue with the need for lightweight cryptography. So there's an evolutionary change in computing and information technologies. In the past, we didn't have many computers, so there were one computer, but many users were using the same computer via terminals, right? But then PCs appeared, one computer for one person. It was nice. But now we are at the age of many computers, one users. And here by computers, you can think of desktops and laptops or your mobile phones, tablets, but also your smartwatches and so on. So we have a lot of computational devices on ourselves, right? So this is actually the short way of saying Internet of Things, actually. Many IoT systems run on resource-constrained platforms. So people use this sentence then talk about Raspberry Pis. Raspberry Pis are really powerful devices, okay? When I say resource constraints, I don't mean Raspberry Pi. For example, mobile tokens without battery, radio frequency identification tags, or medical implants that do not allow change of batteries, right? Because, you know, if your battery in your medical implants doesn't last long, you have to have the surgery over and over again, right? So many IoT devices are extremely cost sensitive because they are deployed in high volumes. You know, producing it with 1 cent less is really important because you will be producing billions of them. Industry needed for lightweight cryptography for at least 20 years. But due to this cost sensitivity, they didn't ask cryptographers to design good algorithms for them. So it became an active research area in academia over the last 10 years. As you can see, there's a gap between the need from the industry and the time academia start researching this. So industry deployed several proprietary self-made algorithms and many disasters happened. Okay, here are some examples. For instance, Keeloq for remote keyless entry, Mifare classic smart cards for contactless smart cards. Okay, so let me briefly explain what they are and what went wrong. So Keeloq is a proprietary hardware dedicated block cipher that uses an NLFSR, nonlinear feedback shift registers. These are generally used in stream ciphers. So Keeloq was used for keyless entry systems like cars, garage doors, buildings, etc. Used by many companies like, you know, famous car companies like Chrysler, Daewoo, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what was the problem? There were many attacks. Here I'm giving a summary of the known attacks. So side channel attacks can reveal both the secret key of a remote transmitter and the manufacturer key stored in a receiver. A remote control can be cloned from only 10 power traces, allowing for a practical key recovery in few minutes. So what does this mean? So in these cases, for instance, if you are the car manufacturer, you have a secret key for yourself, but for this same manufacturer, they use the same key. But in every car, the transmitter has a different secret key, okay? So every secret key for a car, but a single key for the manufacturer. So here it says that if you get only 10 power traces, this means that you have a physical access and measure the power it consumes when you try to open the door of your car, okay? So this way, you can capture the keys in a few minutes. So since a manufacturer key is fixed, you know, even if you have your own car, you can capture the manufacturer key for that brand, okay? So this way, once you capture this with this kind of attack, then you can attack the secret key of the transmitters with different attacks. Like once knowing the manufacturer key, the secret key of a remote control can be obtained from a distance and replicated just by eavesdropping at most 2 messages without physical access to the device, right? So this means that when somebody opens their door card 2 times, maybe in different days, and you just record the communication, this means that you clone the car key and then steal the car. Another attack, which I really like, this is a denial of service attack, a different one. So there's an internal counter in these receivers, okay? So like in the garage door, car door, etc. So this attack actually, you know, resets it. So this attack, the internal counter of the receiver, which makes it impossible for a legitimate user to open the door. So when you're walking by a garage door, actually you reset its counter. So the real user tries to open it, but it cannot open it. So, and a very strange way of doing a DOS attack, right? Denial of service attack. You come to your car, but you cannot open the door. You have to use a physical key. So there are nice papers about it, and you can check this paper, which actually summarizes everything. Another algorithm, A51, this is a stream cipher developed in 1980s and became a GSM standard in Europe and United States. A deliberately weakened version, A52, was developed in 1987 for certain export regions because you cannot actually give strong crypto to other countries, okay? Cryptography is still considered as a weapon. You cannot export it easily. So for third world countries, you generally give a weakened version where the security is kind of reduced to 40 bits of secret key, okay? So initially kept secret, but all of our mobile phones has it, so it is not that hard to have a reverse engineer. So it was reverse engineered in 1999. And this is A51 is initialized by a 64-bit key and a publicly known 22-bit frame. As you can see, the secret key is not that large, but there are also some other weaknesses. But after 3G, A51 is replaced with A53. Now this is a Kasumi block cipher actually. But the problem is that a lot of people are still using A51. But generally you don't have the control over it. So in your smartphone, actually you cannot select which algorithm you want to use, right? And actually you may not be using any encryption at all. You may be communicating as a plain text. But as far as I know, either very recently or in a few months, both Apple and Android phones will come with a property preventing to communicate in a non-encrypted way. Okay. So here's an old picture from 2017. This is from GSM Map project. It shows you, this is of course based on a few user data, not the whole country statistics, okay? But you can see there are many GSM networks using A51. Okay. This is because if you are calling somebody and if they are using an old mobile phone, they may not have the A53, okay? So you have to stick to the old algorithm, okay? And long story short, a lot of people is still using A51. But the thing is that we can listen to this communication in real time. So if somebody around you is using a GSM communication with this old algorithm, in real time you can listen to that communication. That is that broke, okay? All you need is a hard drive, like a few terabytes, an ARM processor, and an antenna. Put it into your backpack, walk around and listen to all of these communications. Real easy. A final disaster I'm going to talk about, Mifare Classic 1K smart cards. So these are produced by NXP Semiconductors, used in contactless smart cards and proximity cards. NXP is leader in this area, actually. They do really nice cards. They produce more than 10 billion smart card chips and more than 150 million reader modules. Actually, this slide is old. Maybe we should multiply these numbers by 2 or 3. Okay. It uses a stream cipher called Crypto1. Again, this is proprietary algorithm, not designed by academic community. And it's used in many different applications like public transportation. So in London, Oyster cards were using this initially. Electronic toll collection, loyalty cards, event ticketing, car parking, almost every car parking in Istanbul or Ankara uses this. So, you can clone and, I'm not suggesting you to do illegal stuff, but, it can be broken. So the easiest thing is to check if you have an Android phone with NFC capability. You can install a software like NFC Tools, turn on the NFC and, put the card on the back of your mobile phone and see what kind of algorithm or smart card it is. As you can see here, it says Mifare Classic 1K. Okay. It has 1 kilobyte of memory. This is why we call it 1K. It has, as you can see, 16 sectors. So in each sector, there are 2 secret keys. But there are ways to capture these secret keys and clone the card. That is the whole idea. And sometimes in Turkey, only the serial number, which is a public value, which you can learn from the card by directly communicating, only this number is used. So capturing this number also means you clone the system, because sometimes they all use secret keys as all ones. Okay. So in the past, when this was used in Oyster card in London, people realized to see that in the morning they had put money in their card, and in the evening when they trying to return from their jobs, it was depleted. Somebody used all of their money in their card. This turned out that people, while walking, passing by, they cloned their smart card, so they use their money. So this is why actually nowadays Oyster card uses something else, and it's secure in that sense. Okay, so initially academicians observed this and actually tried to publish the paper, and they went to court because NXP said that it shouldn't be published because a lot of people will be affected. So in Netherlands, they went to court, and the court said that this is freedom of speech. If the card were badly designed, it is the problem of the company, not the academicians. So this way they published. Of course, semiconductors, NXP produced many good cards afterwards, and this was generally, this kind of situations are better for the company because they show that they care about this stuff and produce better cards.